You got some people, you know, they look at it like, oh, it's animal cruelty and stuff like that. Like it's not animal cruelty. I'm like this. Those are goldfish. I'm saying those are feeding fish. Like this, we're not feeding them to nobody. We're not giving them to nobody like this. So they're living. They're in a good place. They're definitely in a good place.
That's a longtime resident of Brooklyn's Bed-Stuy neighborhood. And that good place he's talking about is at the corner of Hancock Street and Tompkins Avenue, where a puddle from a leaky fire hydrant has been transformed into a makeshift aquarium. You know, some believe that a meticulously maintained koi pond can represent good luck, serenity, and the flow of positive energy. And here against the backdrop of the big city, this so-called Hancock Street Bed-Stuy Aquarium seems to symbolize urban ingenuity in the type of spot where dogs are the ones usually enjoying a leak. So earlier this month, a few longtime Bed-Stuy locals were lounging around on a hot day and joked that they should add fish to this ever-present puddle. And then, well, they spent $16 at a pet store on 100 common goldfish. That breaks down to 16 cents a fish, but who's counting? And they dumped the things into this gussied up curbside oasis, complete with decorative rocks and decorative brick. Now, if Heathcliff has taught us anything, it's that fish can live interesting lives in the big city. And the pond people responsible for this little habitat maintain they feed these things 3 times a day and are providing a better life for these types of fish that usually get sold to be eaten by larger marine species. Of course, the potential to be wolfed down by a common street rat isn't really that much better than being scarfed by a sea creature. And not everyone is fine with letting these things loose in a puddle pond. Indeed, there's a reason for a giant yellow security camera warning reading, "Please, do not touch or take our fish. It's for observation only. You're being watched." After local news stories and social media posts like this one in the Bed-Stuy subreddit characterizing the goldfish in a freaking hole in the ground as animal abuse, a few other residents carried out a 4 a.m. goldfish rescue mission last week, taking around 30 of these things out of the 2-inch water.
We attempted to help out and offer tanks and aquariums and filtration units to these people and try to explain to them that while, again, we're on the same side, we love the idea of having to fish for the neighborhood, unfortunately, it's kind of harmful to the fish themselves. And they refused rather aggressively, and so we pulled a bit of a rescue mission in the dead of night and took matters into our own hands.
That's one of the fish rescuers. And while he may have a benevolent disposition that makes him something of the deep of Bed-Stuy, it's worth pointing out that Bedford-Stuyvesant is a historically black neighborhood. Over the years, it's seen an influx of white residents, and this whole fish hole is sparking a whole new conversation over gentrification.
I understand this is definitely a sensitive neighborhood issue, and I'm definitely well aware of that, and I know the optics of it can look a bit unfortunate. The fact of the matter is there are lives being actively harmed right now, and really I just care about the fish themselves. And we made great attempts to actually help them out and offer solutions, and unfortunately they were rebuffed, and so we did take matters in our own hands.
The old community love it. The new community just has all type of weird assumptions about Bedford-Stuyvesant, period.
That's another longtime Bed-Stuy local. At the very spot where our pond monitor from before notes, people have been stopping by to drop off decorations like seashells and pearls. A New York City spokesperson for the Department of Environmental Protection told the Associated Press that there are safety concerns surrounding leaky hydrants, observing, "We love goldfish, but we know there's a better home for them than on a sidewalk." And even though they say they've sent crews to fix this particular hydrant multiple times, it keeps being turned back on by local residents, lest they deprive these floor fish of their tranquil waterfall. Our amateur aquarist here claims they're going to keep the fish around for a few more weeks and then donate them to local kids. And as observed by another person who's lived in this neighborhood their entire life, it's characters like these that lend this place its character.
I don't think that it's the new neighborhood versus the old neighborhood. I think it's just people are going to do whatever they think is artistic and cool wherever they're at. And there's always going to be somebody to kind of raise a red flag and try to change it. But when it comes down to it, the fish look happy and it makes other people happy too, so why change it?
And if you think these guys look happy, imagine the smile on your face after you subscribe to @TheNewsRefresh on YouTube, where we put out new weird and interesting news videos like these each and every day. My name is Greg Ott, and let us know what you think of this video in the comments. In this recent piece about 300,000 condoms at the Paris Olympic Village, YouTube_BPC just wrote, "How can I search this on Pornhub?" Try the search feature.